What's up? It's Marco back on the Sage of Soccer channel. Today I'm going to be doing my Matchweek 11 preview of the Premier League. I'm going to start things off with the North London Derby game of the week. Then I'm going to be going through things chronologically. So getting right into it, North London Derby, Tottenham against Arsenal. Going to be a pretty good game for both teams. I'm going to start off with Tottenham as the home team. I think the key for them, I think Harry Kane's going to be the main key for them. Because you're looking at this team and he's got a lot of creativity this year. I think his assist numbers are through the roof. And him being able to drop into that space and get forward, I think that's going to be huge for them. Because you're going to have Heung-min Son on the wing. You're going to have probably Bergwijn. And they have a pretty tough ask dealing with the athleticism that Arsenal has in their fullbacks with Bellerin and either Saka or Tierney. So I'm not too sure about how they're going to do 1v1, but if Kane can get them through, I think they have an easy shot at scoring. That's probably going to be the deciding factor for this game. Next for Tottenham, I think their midfield is going to be key. This is a midfield that's so much improved off of last year. Højbjerg coming in has been amazing, and Sissoko's been just turned great all of a sudden. I think that their midfield can do really well because this is going to be an Arsenal team that should have Ceballos and Xhaka in the midfield, maybe Elneny, but I don't think Partey's going to be back yet. So I think they should be able to dominate the game, get a lot of possession, or not a lot of possession, but good possession. They'll be able to have their own spells, probably be able to break, and Sissoko has a good chance of breaking up a lot of attacks. If their midfield plays really well today, I think they have an easy path to victory. And lastly, just have the defense continue their form. They've been playing really well lately. Eric Dyer, he's been great this year since Mourinho's come in, and it looks like it may be Rodon and at center back alongside him. I'm not sure about Ardeveil's availability yet, but him and their fullbacks, they're going to have a huge task ahead of them, but I think that they're up to it, especially with how Arsenal's form has been lately. Next for Arsenal, I think that the main key for them, and this is what they need to do to win this game, I think they need to get on the front foot early. Establish possession, make a couple of chances, and push Tottenham back. You don't even need to score them, but you saw this against Chelsea last week for Tottenham, where they kind of accepted the 0-0 draw. They became kind of complacent, I guess. And I feel like that if Arsenal are really able to establish possession, get on the front foot, put Tottenham in a defensive position, Tottenham will, fold is what I'm trying to say. And I still think that Arsenal have a little bit of just a psychological edge. They are traditionally the bigger team in North London, and I feel like if they're just able to just show their dominance early, get on the front foot, they have a much better chance of beating Tottenham. Next, their attack really does have to show up. I mean, Aubameyang's been really bad to start this year. Willian, he's had moments, but he's not been good enough, and Lacazette hasn't been good enough. And really, probably their best attacking players have been Bellerin and Saka, which isn't a lot considering how much criticism Bellerin's getting from Arsenal fans. But their attack really has to show up. Aubameyang, you're the captain, you're the leader going into this rivalry game. He has to have a huge game. Willian, he's the experienced player that they brought in. You really want him to step up. So I think their attacks are really going to have a nice game. And lastly, I mentioned them before. I think the fullbacks are going to be key to this game. Think they have a decent chance of doing well against Son and what should be Bergwijn. Maybe Bale will come on, or Lucas Moura. And if Bale scores the winner, what'll that do? That'll be crazy. But I think that Bellerin, either Tierney or Saka, if they go in 4 back, 5 at the back, whatever, they're going to be key to this game. They have a lot of room going forward. I think they have a chance to get the better of what should be Doherty and Reguilón. It's going to be a tough ask for them, but I feel like if they are able to win that, Arsenal have a much better chance. So after going through all that, I really see Tottenham coming away with the win. I don't think that Arsenal will really be able to establish possession like I mentioned. I don't have too much faith in Ceballos and Xhaka. And then I really like the Tottenham attack. Like, I'm saying all this like on the condition that Son doesn't just go off on a huge run, and he definitely has the ability to do that. Harry Kane's been insane, and nice rhyme. And their fullbacks are even probably as good as the Arsenal ones as well. So, yeah, I really see Tottenham coming away with the win for this one. So the next game I want to talk about is Burnley against Everton. Now we're going in chronological order. I started things off with Everton since I like to talk about Burnley as little as possible. I think the main key for them is get service into Calvert-Lewin. They definitely have the ability to do this, and if you get Calvert-Lewin on the ball, he's going to put the ball in the back of the net. Even if it's Nick Pope in there, which it may still be Peacock Farrell. And man, I feel bad for him after his debut last week. But yeah, I think that they have the ability to just get the ball into Calvert-Lewin. He'll put away the chances. Next, defensively, deal with the big men up top. You're going to have Chris Wood and I always forget his partner for some reason. I think Vedra up there. That's going to be. It's always a tough ask to deal with two really big strikers, especially if they're going to be putting Jay Rodriguez on the wing again. But I think that they have the ability to do that. But it's just always tough dealing with those huge balls into the box. And lastly, I really want their backups to step up. This is something that I mentioned before, but Everton's depth is really bad this year. I think that they'd be competing for Europe easily if they had their full 11 for every game. But right now, Seamus Coleman is hurt and Luka Din's hurt. But you really have to have their backup step up. I think it's going to be Iwobi and it was Tom Davies last week at right back. I know John Joe Kenny had a good loan last year, so I'm not too sure if he's going to get in or not. But let's say it's Iwobi and Tom Davies. They need to supplement some of that creativity because Luka Din is probably, might just be the most talented left back in the league. Andy Robertson's given him a good run, but Luka Din's definitely up there. And they're going to be without him for a while. You're going to need Iwobi to step up, make a lot of chances, and I really want to see that right back. If it's Tom Davies, might be John Joe Kenny, you're going to have them do well as well. Just fill that void for them, and don't be liabilities for this team. So for Burnley, it's pretty simple for them. It's the same thing that I say every week. Just try to find a goal. It's always going to be tough for them with not too much attacking talent due to their budget, but just when you get those chances, you have to convert them. Next, defense has to lock it down. You're going to have Tarkowski. He's going to be dealing with Calvert-Lewin up front, whether it's Ben Mee, whoever is back there partnering him. It's going to be a tough ask, but just keep the defense tight. Stay organized defensively. You're going to have the whole team defend, and maybe they can come away with keeping a clean sheet. And lastly, the guy who I really want to call for this game is Dwight McNeil. I don't think that he's been having the best year. It's obviously tough in this Burnley team, but I think this is the game that he could really step up because he, as I mentioned before, the fullbacks are out. So if he's lining up on the left, he's going to be going at probably Tom Davies, maybe Ben Godfrey, I believe, will be the center back on his side. So he has a good chance to really show out against a good team without too much defensive talent on his side. And I feel like this is going to be the game where if he doesn't break out this game, I think I'm probably going to stop holding him to a higher standard. But I think that he deserves to just really have this chance. But if not this year, then I'm probably going to give up on him on Burnley until he goes to another team. I think he has talent, but it's just hard to show it here. So I think Everton's going to win. I don't see much talent in this Burnley team. They're just going to try to keep a clean sheet. Maybe they can come away with a scrappy goal. But yeah, I see Everton coming away with the win. Next, we got Manchester City against Fulham. And man, this is going to be a tough game for Fulham. Manchester City, they're probably going to have a lot of the ball, just dominate possession, and they're going to be creating a lot of chances. I think for them, they really need to convert their chances. They did this very well against Burnley last week, but their striker situation is still a little bit unclear. But you got to have guys like Mara and Ferran Torres, Sterling, maybe even De Bruyne. They're going to have to be finishing their chances, come up with some goals, and they show the ability to do that, and I think they will, but just has to be mentioned because they haven't done that every year, and their goals this year have been a little bit lesser than what they've been expecting with previous years. I guess that is to be expected with Aguero and Gabriel Jesus not playing as much as they have. Next, I really think dominating early, that's a pretty big key. Just make sure Fulham knows what's going to happen early in the game and break them, I guess. It sounds kind of mean when I say it, but lastly, just watch out for the break. I think if Fulham does have a chance to win, it's going to be on the counterattack. But Man City's been dealing with that better this year. You've got some really nice defenders back there now. Ederson is really quick out of his box, so I don't think that'll be too much of an issue, but just wanted to mention it. So for Fulham, I think the main guy for them if they want to win this game is Lookman. He's been probably their most threatening attacking player, and if he can get the ball on the break, if Kyle Walker's forward, I think he has the athleticism to beat everybody else on this Man City defense. So if he's just able to get a little bit of a chance, he is probably going to be the one to come away with the goal for Fulham, or at least create it. Next, I really think just concentrate on their defense. Just defend with, it's probably going to have to be 9 players. But their back line's been a lot better lately. they just have to limit those mistakes early. Like if Fulham get pressed, it's going to be pretty tough for them because they do play into the game pretty well, but I feel like especially against his former team, Adebayo might make some mistakes in the build-up. Anthony Robertson has not been the best at building up this year, so that could be an issue, but just defend with the whole team. Harrison Reed and probably Anguissa are going to have a really nice game. I think that if they're able to hold out defensively, they might have a chance, but again, it's always a tough ask. And lastly, I really think that just take their chance. I mean, Lookman's going to have that opportunity. They might just have one chance, and if they're able to convert it, anything can happen. But yeah, Man City's probably going to come away with this win, especially at home. It's probably going to be 4-0 or something. So next we've got West Ham against Manchester United, and this is an interesting game because you've got West Ham who are really overachieving this year and Manchester United who are probably disappointing, though I think that they're only 3 points outside the top 4 and they do have a game in hand. So that is something to be said. So for West Ham, I think that what I want to see from them is really score on the break because I feel like Manchester United will really be attacking this game. They'll probably invite that at pressure. And I think that the break will be on, similar to what I was mentioning with Lookman. I think Mikel Antonio, who should be back to full fitness this week, he really has a chance to get behind this defense. They have been doing a lot better this year, but it's still Maguire and Lindelof. He's got a really decent chance to just get in behind them and put away a chance. Next, I think this West Ham team has the ability to really just dominate the midfield. I don't think they'll have most of the possession, but when you have Declan Rice and Thomas Souček, they're two of the better defensive midfielders in this entire league. So when they have a really good chance to break up a lot of attacks, build up the ball pretty well. I mean, I really rate them over, it'll probably be Fred and Matic, maybe McTominay. I probably rate Declan Rice and Thomas Souček over those two. So when they get on the ball, I think they have a really decent chance of breaking up attacks, starting counters, and I think those two guys are going to be key for them. And lastly, for West Ham, just play the full 90 minutes because this is a team that we really seen their quality before with those wins against Leicester and Wolves and getting a draw against, I think, Tottenham and Man City. They definitely have the ability to I think they have the ability to hang with any team in the league right now. But they have to play for the full 90 because you saw them really struggle to beat Newcastle. They were leaving it late against, I believe, Fulham, and I don't think they're completely switched on. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people really thought they would struggle this year because I think the talent that they have is pretty clear to see. But they just have to be just completely switched on for 90 minutes. Now for Manchester United, this is a tougher thing to predict because we don't even know how they're going to line up. I think that their striker is going to be key. Whether that's Cavani, maybe Martial, it's going to be a tough ask for them because they really need to hold up the ball well, be able to convert their chances. Martial has been very poor to start this year. He's been getting in good positions, but his finishing just hasn't been there. It's kind of similar to Timo Werner for Chelsea, but his teammates have been stepping up for Chelsea. But Manchester United, the goal is really, it's a lot more pressure being the number 9 at Manchester United, I feel like. Especially right now when the goals just aren't really available. When you get on Chelsea, you've got guys like Ziyech who've been stepping up. He can just go out wide and have Tammy Abraham go up there. But, it's going to be a tough ask for them. I think their striker is going to be key to this game. You have to put away their chances. Next, their defense has to stay strong. I think they've been doing a lot better lately. Even when they conceded 2 goals last week to Southampton, I feel like they had a decent game. But just keep performing well. This is a tough ask. Fornals, Bowen, they're 2 really solid players. Mikel Antonio, he's really good on the break. He's one of the top 4s in the league, I think. And it's going to be a really tough ask for them, but I think they'll be able to step up. Lastly, I really want to see good performances from Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. Fernandes has been on fire lately. I think that he can keep up this form. Just keep creating chances, keep scoring them. And Rashford, I feel like he's had a bit of a dip in form, but he's still one of the better players in the league. Just be able to take on your man, put away chances. I think that if they step up, they're going to have good things happen for Manchester United. Overall for this game, I really see a draw being the most likely result. United are in pretty good form. West Ham are in pretty good form. Weird to say, but I feel like their teams are a little bit even right now. And I feel like a draw is just probably the most likely result from this game. Next, we have probably outside of that North London derby, probably the game of the week with Chelsea against Leeds. So Chelsea, they're going to be at home. I think that the key for them is stay strong in the midfield. This is a Leeds team that we know how they play. They have a lot of the ball. They can really dominate possession on a team, just impose their will on the other team. I think that Chelsea have the ability and talent to just stop that. You've got Conte in the midfield. He can win the ball back easily. You've got probably Kovacic and Ziyech in there as well, maybe Mason Mount. But they've got the talent to keep possession on this Leeds team. Really put them under pressure, just play offensively, and I think this team has the ability to do that. I feel like that'll be key for them, because I feel like it'll be tougher for them if they really play on the break. Maybe if it's like just an end-to-end game, it could suit them better, but I feel like if Leeds has a lot of possession, it's going to hurt Chelsea. But so really staying strong in the midfield. Next, I feel like for their wide men, just win their 1v1s. Whether it's Werner, maybe Pulisic, or Havertz out there, I feel like if they can just go at the defense, just take on whether it's Ayling, Alioski, or Dallas at the fullback position, go at them, just win the battle, get the ball into the box, take a shot. I feel like the wingers definitely have the talent to do that. Just get at this defense. And lastly, just keep their defensive form. Last week we saw Thiago Silva with probably his best performance since coming to Chelsea. Just keep that up. Reece James has been doing a lot better. Ben Chilwell's been great since he came in. Zuma's been doing pretty well. And, Mendy, he's not even been that, amazing. He's been really nice, but it's just so nice for them to not have Kepa back there, which, man, I hope that guy rediscovers his form. He's got talent, but, just keep up that defensive form, and I think they have a good shot at winning. Next to Leeds, as I mentioned before, this midfield is going to be key. I think if they can win this battle, it'll be huge for them. You have got Calvin Phillips in there. He's got a really good chance to win possession. I think it'll be Klitsch in there, and it's been Dallas lately. It's going to be a tough ask for them, but again, I feel like they can win this midfield. It'll be tough for them, but if they're able to get a lot of possession, that'll be key for them. Next, main thing for them is convert their chances. Bamford's been looking more like the Bamford I expected going into this year lately. What I expected was less than 5 goals. I was wrong on that. I'll take the blame on that. But he's been missing a lot of chances. Even if it's been hitting the post, he's been getting unlucky. He has to step up now. This is going to be a huge game for him against his former club. I really want him to convert his chances. And lastly, just hold out defensively. It's been pretty tough for them, especially dealing with balls into the box. Koch and Cooper have been kind of struggling with that. I feel like their fullbacks aren't the most talented defensively in the league, so it'll be a tough ask for them defensively, but I feel like if they're just able to really just hold out for a pretty good amount of time, I feel like they'll be able to get the goal, and they can really get onto the game and win it. So, again, for the actual result, I feel like Chelsea will come away with the win. I think they have more talent than Leeds. I feel like they've built I think they can play Leeds' game better than them, and they can just go out and just show their talent. So next we got West Brom against Crystal Palace, and there's one game to skip this week. So for West Brom, I think that the key to them this week is just come in with a clear plan, because this is a team that can play defensively a lot. They can try to build up from the back and try to get possession, but I don't really think they have a real style yet. I feel like that if they can just come into this game, just establish how they want to play. Whether that's go defensively, maybe you start like a Livermore, or just go offensively. Get Gallagher and who's their other center mid? I'm forgetting right now. God. Yeah, it's West Brom. I mean, they've been kind of forgettable this year. But just decide if they want to go offensively or defensively. If they go offensively and they can really get at this Palace team, I think they can really get on the end of some mistakes. I mean, this Palace defense hasn't been the greatest this year. Scott Dan, Sacco, they've both made a couple of mistakes. Kuyate's been solid, but they pushed him up into the midfield last week, so it's kind of going to be strange. It's hard to predict what this defense will look like, but I think they've got the ability to really get at them. Next up, just main thing, stifle Wilfred Zaha. Crystal Palace do not have creativity outside of this guy. Well, Eze's been doing some stuff, but if you stop Zaha, you're going to win this game, or at least come away with a 0-0 draw. But if Zaha gets going, I think it's going to be a really tough ask for West Brom. So for Crystal Palace, just attack this game. Don't sit in defensively. Don't go for a 0-0 draw. Just get at this team. They have the talent too. I think it'll be Batshuayi and Zaha up top. Hopefully, that's what I'd like to see. Maybe Ayew, but them. You got Schlupp, Townsend. Townsend's been on some bad form, but he's got the ability. And Jairo Riedewald, even MacArthur's been able to step up with some goals in the past. Just get at this team, attack, play with confidence. They've got more talent than this West Brom team. They can get at them. They can win this game. Next, just limit defensive mistakes. As I mentioned, some guys have been making mistakes defensively. Scott Dan's going to have a solid game. I think it'll be Gary Cahill. He's going to have to step up. Just make sure you limit mistakes defensively, and I think more attackers have to show up. Somebody else rather than Zaha. Maybe Eze. We know that he's really nice. Townsend's going to have a game, or Batshuayi's going to have to convert chances. Maybe Ayew. Even if Benteke comes in late, he's going to have. I think it'll be tough for him. I think Ivanovic will have his number, but just another attacker other than Zaha has to step up. This is what I've been saying with Jack Grealish and Aston Villa. Just take some of the burden off of him, please. I think that Palace come away with this win. I do think that Zaha's going to be able to step up for them, but man, I could see an easy path for West Brom to come away with a point, maybe. But I think that Crystal Palace has a better chance of winning. Next, we've got Leicester against Sheffield, and probably the game that I have the most trouble predicting, just because of how Leicester's been playing. Because I think they need to just get out on the front foot, attack this team. Similar to Arsenal, this is a Sheffield team that doesn't have an attack right now. They don't have anything good going for them. Anything good for them going forward. Just don't be afraid of the counterattack. Just get at this team. Just make some chances. Tielemans is there. Madison's there. Hopefully Harvey Barnes or Under will be there. Just get at this team. You know that you can win against them. Get through the defense. Tielemans can pick out a pass. Madison's been doing really nice this year. Just go at this Sheffield team. Don't play scared. Because this is a team that played scared against Liverpool. I feel like they played scared last week as well. And just go at them. So for Sheffield, it's similar to Burnley. Just keep it tight. If you get a chance, convert it. Leicester's defense had made some mistakes. Johnny Evans has been on pretty bad form lately. So if you get a chance, convert it. And defense, keep it tight. Corners have been really bad for them lately. And I think that Leicester have the ability to score off corners. Johnny Evans is pretty good. Vardy's had a couple of headers lately. I think on corners it's going to be tough, though. But, yeah, that's going to be something that Sheffield United are going to have to watch out for. And I think the main keys for them are going to be Sander Berg and Oliver Berg. If they're going to be in the game, hopefully they will be. Oliver Berg's probably been their most dynamic attacker this year in the limited game time he's seen. He's going to be able to make a couple of chances, and they're going to have to convert them. And Sander Berg, he's been really decent this year. I think that if he can really get on the ball a lot, I think he can get through this midfield. Mendy and Tielemans aren't the greatest defensively. Mendy has done well in lieu of Ndidi, but I think that Berger has the ability to get through them. And lastly, I think the fullbacks are going to have a good game. Baldock and Lowe or Stevens, they have not been great this year. I think they've been pretty bad. But this is a game where they can step up against probably a Luke Thomas and maybe Mark Albrighton. They've got the ability. I think this is a team that Sheffield's been playing a little bit better each game. And maybe this is the game that they can step up. I don't think so. I think Leicester come away with the win, but, man, it's going to be tough for Sheffield. So next, we've got Liverpool hosting Wolves, and man, this is probably another really nice game this week. So for Liverpool, keep up the good defensive work. Fabinho's been playing really nice for them. Matip's been good. Robertson, he's been great, and Nico Williams had a pretty decent game in the Champions League. Just keep up the good work defensively. I know Van Dijk's still out, Gomez is still out, Trent's still out. Well, Trent's not the greatest defensively, but you're missing all your defenders. Just keep stepping up. Matip, Fabinho, they've been doing well. Henderson and Wijnaldum, they've been stepping up in the midfield defensively, and Curtis Jones has actually been great lately. He wasn't somebody who I was too sure on, but he's had some really decent performances. I'm really starting to get behind the Curtis Jones hype. Next for Liverpool, front four. I think we call it the front four now. I mean, Diego Jota's been that good. I gave him Player of the Month for last month, but I think they have the ability to score. This is a Wolves defense that really isn't the greatest right now. I mean, their fullbacks haven't been the best this year, though. Martial's been better, and Semedo had a decent game in the back four. If they switch back to a back five, I think they have a better chance, but in the back four, he has been pretty good. But I think that it's still Liverpool's attack. When you get Mane going at people, you get Salah going at people, they're going to score. I mean, especially at home, because they've been crazy at home. And lastly, I think midfield's going to be key. I mentioned Curtis Jones has been stepping up. You've got Henderson and probably Wijnaldum starting. I think that Milner picked up a knock. So just make sure you can win this midfield battle. It's going to be probably Moutinho and Dendoncker in there. It's a tough ask for them, but I think they have the ability to just get the ball back a lot, have a lot of the ball, give chances to their attack. So for Wolves, the key for them, get at this week in defense. You've got probably Nico Williams is going to be on the right. I think that Neto has the ability to really get at him, probably get the better of him. And when that happens, chances are going to open up for this Wolves team. Now, if they can finish them, especially with Raul Jimenez being out for the foreseeable future, it might be Fabio Silva up top. I don't know if Podence has the ability to play as a false nine. Maybe he will, or you could just say screw it and skip, but stick Traore up top and just try to get in behind this defense. But it's going to be, I think that Neto and Podence and Traore just getting at this defense, winning battles, that's going to be key for them. Next for them, get on the ball. Just get on the ball, I think. Because if you allow Liverpool to get on the ball, they're going to have chances. But if this Wolves team has the ability to really dominate possession, and I think that if they can just get on the ball, get the ball forward to the attackers, and try to limit the amount of time that Liverpool have within possession, I think they've got a much better chance of coming away with something. And lastly, just limit the amount of goals you concede. It's Liverpool at home. They're going to come away with some chances. Just try to mitigate some of those chances. Have Semedo step up. Marcel's going to have a good game. It's Connor Cody against his former team. So he's hopefully going to step up. Bully's been great. Just have a decent game for them, and I think that's probably their best chance. I think Liverpool come away with this win. It's at home. They've been on some great form lately. Midfield's been stepping up. Fabinho is back for them. That's huge. And Liverpool, I think, is going to win this game. And last game of the week, we've got Brighton against Southampton. Man, that's good because my voice is going. So for Brighton, I think the main thing for them is beat this press. This is a Southampton team that loves to press you, but this is a Brighton team that loves to play in possession. That's going to be the main matchup of this. Southampton's press against Brighton's build-up. But I think that Brighton have the ability to really get the ball forward. And if they're able to do that and able to get the ball to strikers who can convert their chances, I mean, Danny Welbeck's been pretty good, which I did not expect. But, hey, if Danny Welbeck can get going, just convert their chances, get a lot of possession, that'll be key for them. And defensively, I think the main thing is deal with the pretty athletic attack. I mean, Theo Walcott's lost a step, but he's still really good. Shea Adams is a really good athlete. They're going to have a couple of chances, but I feel like if they can just deal with that athleticism back there. I mean, Lewis Dunk, Ben White, and who's been their third center back lately? Vaultman or Byrne, whoever it is. It's a Webster. I think that they have the ability to deal with this attack, and they can really stop them. For Southampton, take advantage of opportunities. They're going to have some chances. I mean, Ward-Prowse, if he gets the ball anywhere within 30 yards to the goal, it's a chance. With his set-piece ability, whether that's him taking a shot or him putting a ball in, that's going to be a chance for them. And when they get those, they got to take advantage. Next, also their strikers got to take advantage of the opportunities. Shea Adams has been on really nice form lately. He's been really good. He had a pretty bad year last year, and honestly a pretty slow start, but he's gotten it going. And he's going to be pretty key for this team. Next, oh yeah, they're scoring on the break. That's what I meant to say. Just get at this team and really break on them. And defensively, it's going to be tough because you have to deal with those really solid fullbacks of Sully March and Tariq Lamptey. But I think Ryan Bertrand and Kyle Walker-Peters may be up to the task because they've been on some pretty nice form lately. Vestergaard and Bednarik have the ability to deal with Welbeck and Mupai up top. So I feel like it's a pretty decent chance for them if they can stay well defensively. And I think McCarthy's another key. We know that he has the ability to make some really nice saves. I think I gave him man of the match a couple of times this year. But he made a couple of pretty big mistakes in the build-up last week. And I think if he's playing well, Southampton have a much better chance. But if he plays poorly, Brighton have a decent chance. So despite all that, I feel like it's going to end up in a draw. It's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. I'm actually looking forward to the game, but I think it's a pretty even matchup, and I think a draw is probably what's going to happen. But I can see paths for both Brighton and Southampton to win the game. So yeah, that's it for the games because Newcastle got sick, and that Aston Villa-Newcastle game postponed. Not sure what's going to happen to Villa because they're already back a game because of accommodating for United and City's European runs. So not sure what's going to happen with Aston Villa. They got this huge fixture list coming up, so not too sure if the December fixtures, we know how congested they are, so not going to be sure when they're going to make up those games. And are they still alive in the cup? I'm not too sure. If they are, that makes it even harder. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Aston Villa right now because Newcastle had to go and get sick. Not going to point fingers. John Joe Shelby, I bet it was him. But, yeah, tough for them. That's it for Premier League this week. Man, that's all I have. It's going to be a really nice week. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you.